university for all. Anti-discrimination at the University of Bremen.
The University of Bremen is committed to being a professional and educational space with a culture rooted in fairness, respect and solidarity, as well as an informed approach to combating discrimination. But why is discussing discrimination so difficult?
Some people don't understand the need to talk about it or even resist efforts to do so. Perhaps this is because they are rarely discriminated against in their own lives. They may not be familiar with how it feels to experience discrimination.
For them, discrimination is something they don't need to bother knowing about. It just doesn't, or only barely, affect them.
However, for many others, discrimination is a daily occurrence. It can take many forms: prejudice, slights, marginalization, insults, or hurtful statements. On top of the emotional cost, discrimination also affects people's social relationships. It can impact and severely interfere with access to or success in both professional and academic fields.
University of Bremen's anti-discrimination policy was developed to protect against discrimination, reduce instances of discrimination on campus, and prevent discriminatory actions. The policy is based on a legal definition of discrimination that is also laid out in the German General Act on Equal Treatment.
The definition follows a three-step process. It's discrimination when someone is treated less favorably, based on a protected trait, and without an objective reason.
Let's look at that in more detail. The General Act on Equal Treatment deems 6 traits worth protecting: disability and/or chronic illness, religion and beliefs, gender and gender identity, sexual orientation and identity, age, and race and ethnicity.
The University of Bremen has added 5 further traits to its anti-discrimination policy: language, socio-economic background, marital status, including childcare and caregiver duties, nationality, and citizenship status, as well as outward appearance such as physical features, looks, or weight.
The distinction between discrimination and permissible differences of treatment is essential for identifying discrimination. Racism, classism, or anti-trans hate are undeniably discrimination. There is no objective justification for a difference of treatment. However, when a difference in treatment compensates for an existing disadvantage, this constitutes a permissible difference in treatment.
As an example, think of accommodations for disabled or chronically ill students. They reduce inequality in comparison to non-disabled students who more easily handle class assignments and move around campus. Providing accommodations in exams can be a way of making equal opportunities available to all students. There is also a difference between direct and indirect discrimination. Direct discrimination happens when a person is treated differently and less favorably than another person in a comparable situation because of one of the protected traits mentioned earlier.
Indirect discrimination often manifests in structural aspects or institutional regulations and practices. For instance, some decisions are based on provisions, regulations, norms, or routines that claim to be neutral and apply equally to everyone. Think of how universities treat people who do not speak German as a first language. People regularly underestimate the barriers that those who don't speak German as a first language face in everyday life or on campus. For one, important information, documents and forms are mostly only available in German. Exams and assessments often implicitly require advanced German skills. This disadvantages international students and researchers. Many departments have already reacted. They switch among languages, allowing for mistakes, and translate key information. Their goal is to make the University of Bremen more accessible and attractive to international students and researchers.
Recruiting is another example where institutional and individual discrimination mix with immediate and indirect discrimination. Universities are constantly hiring new people for both administrative and research roles. Many are calling for universities to become more diverse as an institution. At the same time, white cis men hold the majority of attractive positions, including professorships. Several factors play into this.
First of all, people tend to only view those most like themselves as qualified and suitable for a position. Different standards for measuring performance also matter. Stereotypes strongly shape ideas about who has scientific acumen, who will dedicate themselves to research, and who will be the best leader.
How could recruiting change its ways? It could expand the networks used to search for suitable candidates and include diversity aspects in job listings. Recruiters could work on their biases in training sessions to make more informed, better decisions.
It's always a good idea for a team to pledge together to strive to become more diverse. Everyone will benefit from that in the long run. Diverse teams can handle a wider range of tasks and often find better solutions.
Remember the permissible differences in treatment? A good example in recruiting are programs for female researchers in fields where they are underrepresented. Targets for more gender diversity and equity can help create motivation for recruiters to change selection processes for university positions that have obviously been awarded to more men than women over the years.
The main intent is always to offset structural and institutional disparity for people from marginalized groups.
One more thing. When it comes to defining discrimination, impact is more important than intent. A statement or an action can still have a damaging effect, even without discriminatory intent.
Discrimination also can result from carelessness, ignorance, thoughtlessness, or statements and behavior that were once considered acceptable. One example is carelessly asking only students of color where they come from, while mentally picturing a place outside of Germany. Another example is talking to staff in wheelchairs very slowly and loudly because you assume that's the only way they'll understand you.
The university's anti-discrimination policy applies to everyone, all students and doctoral candidates, all professors, research associates and lecturers, all technical and administrative staff, all trainees, all third parties such as guests, business partners or suppliers.
The policy governs the entire grounds of the university, all off-campus locations, as well as all university events, and business and research travel.
Its purpose is to acknowledge that discrimination is a reality and daily occurrence at the university and within the entire university context. This film was made to facilitate conversations about discrimination. The brochure and dedicated web pages also provide ideas on what you can do, who has which responsibility, and what the main points of the University of Bremen's anti-discrimination policy are. Find out more from the dedicated contacts at the University of Bremen, online or in the brochure.
In conclusion, the University of Bremen is committed to being a professional and educational space with a culture rooted in fairness, respect and solidarity, as well as an informed approach to combating discrimination.